want the smoke.
Talk to him.
We want the smoke.
Uh-huh.
We want the smoke.
Come on, Charlie.
Hey, what's going on, WoW Nation? It's your boy, Mr. HD, in the building with another WoW news joint for this August 19th, 2022. Man, okay, guys, this is gonna be a loaded news show. Just want to let y'all know we gonna hold off on the CM Punk and news until the chat get popping or whatever. So stay tuned for that. We have a lot of news to get into before that, though. We gonna talk about CM Punk and Hangman, all the drama going on in a minute, because it is a lot of drama and it's spicy. But we gonna start the show off with some unexpected beef, some unexpected drama in the pro wrestling world. I swear I did not wake up and expect to see this all over Twitter and all over the IWC news sphere. Man, Liv Morgan and Shotzi Blackheart. Has anybody heard what happened between these two ladies over Twitter? This shit got really, really spicy. Shotzi started trending all over the place because she decided to take some shots at the SmackDown Women's Champion, Liv Morgan. It says here, I'm getting this from Wrestling Inc. This is a back and forth that went on Twitter. Shout out to Wrestling Inc. But yeah, this is everywhere at this point. But she was trending on Twitter, like I said, because she was suggesting that Liv Morgan got her Riot Squad stablemate, Ruby Soho, fired from WWE, which just off the rip doesn't make any sense or sound like it makes any sense, just on the surface, but let's get into it. And she also said something that's really crazy, just being a pro wrestler. It's like, so what? She also said that she was faking her injury. I was like, what? I was like, all right, now she mixing reality with kayfabe. I don't know what the hell is going on, because even if she was faking an injury, so fucking what? It's pro wrestling. Kenny Omega was faking injuries. He wasn't faking, but you selling. Like, I don't understand why that would be an issue. But anyways, she Liv Morgan or Shotzi said, my arm may not be 100% yet, but I'm ready for Shayna. Stop the act. You're not hurt. You only live once. She was quoting Liv, and she basically said, stop the act. You're not hurt. And she tagged Liv. Like, she wanted the smoke. This shit was kind of crazy. What's up, Dave? Appreciate you being in early, my guy. See you in the chat. Was cracking, bro. Yeah, so this got crazy. Although, the two women were, kind of in character a little bit. They were, hyping up their match for Friday on SmackDown. This felt like it got a little bit spicy. Like, it just got a little personal, and we're going to talk about something else in AEW with the CM Punk stuff that kind of felt the same. And I almost feel like the ladies were like taking the lead of those guys. I don't know what the fuck is happening in pro wrestling right now. Everything is chaos, but it's a beautiful chaos. But I can't explain some stuff. But so they have a match this Friday on SmackDown. Shotzi made the claim after Morgan asked her to read the Insecure Girls Handbook. Ooh. For the next time she decides to deactivate her Twitter. This isn't a wrestling beef. This sounds like two bitches that hate each other. Like, they really want smoke. They really want smoke with each other. So this was crazy. And then she said, Shotzi came back, was like, is this what you read after you got Ruby fired? I'm petty, but this shit is hilarious. Look, she said, look, when somebody starts a sentence with look, they about to go. Look at you only live once, trying to collect green-haired tattoo girls to run over. Not me, babe. I do the running over. Morgan replied with the empathetic, basically, you're done. She was just like, that's it. Match over. You getting emotional. It's a wrap. And then she shared a photo of Ruby with the caption, the superior green-haired tattoo girl. This is not a work. This can't be a work. This is, first of all, let me just get this out there. Liv Morgan is a far better wrestler than Shotzi Blackheart. Is anybody going to argue that at this point, especially with the way Shotzi's been performing? Like I said, I don't wrestle, so I don't want to be too hard on the girl, but she be botching all the time. She be fucking shit up. You know what I mean? She be trying to do hard shit sometime, but she be fucking shit up. And she be just having botches trying to do arm drags and shit. So I can't really, like, I'm not going to side with her on that. Hopefully she has a good match on SmackDown against Liv, especially since there's this little beef. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take, I don't know whose side I'm going to take because I don't know the truth. Like, did Liv have something to do with Ruby Soho getting fired? I'm not sure. Like, maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but it's a pretty spicy topic to think about and discuss. I wonder if Ruby Soho is going to respond because she is yet to jump in the middle of this and be like, hey, ladies. She's basically letting it play out. I'm sure she's gotten wind of it because you know how the IWC is. Everybody probably tagging her like, hey, look at this. They're talking about you. So I'm sure she knows what's going on. I'm interested to see if something comes out, today, later this afternoon, with Ruby replying to the news. This shit is crazy. Like, this shit is super crazy. I think it's fun. It's a real beef. It feels like a real, if I'm being worked, these ladies are just as good as MJF and whoever else is working the shit out of me right now. Like, if this is just something to get me ready to see them fight on SmackDown, it worked. I think this might be the thing I'm looking forward to the most tonight now. I want to see these just get in the ring and see how they interact. Do they really have beef? You know what I mean? Is it a real thing or is it not? I'm not sure. Jay, what's going on? KGM, what's going on, man? Appreciate you guys being in here early. You already know what it is. Wild Nation gang gang. Dave says Shotzi went into business for herself and is trying to get over on her own. Shotzi is overworking for WWE, and the fans is overwatching Shotzi's botches. Facts, Dave. Couldn't have said it better myself, bro. That's why Liv took a shot at her. She was like, here, take this book for the next time you deactivate your Twitter when the fans are on your neck because you keep botching shit and you got 7 segments on Botchamania and shit. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's like, both of them are better. Ruby Soho and Liv Morgan are better wrestlers than Shotzi Blackheart. Like, she was, I guess it was character and the fact that she was like hanging around with, who was she in a tag team with? Was it Tegan Knox? I know Tegan was in a tag team with Candice, but who was Shotzi in a tag team with? Who was she in a tag team with? Oh, it was Athena. Was she in a tag team with Athena? I'm pretty sure she was in a tag team with Athena. So, like, and she's a far 10 times better wrestler than Shotzi. You know what I mean? It's like, I pick her over all 3 of those. Like, so she went into business for herself. That's just like Dave said. That's what she did. She's trying to get people to watch the match. I can't fault her, but I can't say that it didn't work. Because now I want to see the match. You know what I mean? I want to see these two interact. I want to see the first lockup. I want to see if it's going to be like Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair part 2. These motherfuckers just really ain't fucking with each other and some messy shit happens in the ring. You know what I mean? Shit gets messy. Shit gets crazy. You can't even say it's just the women because clearly when you're an emotional male, it can happen as well. We're going to talk about that again a little bit later. So, yeah, this story is crazy, man. I don't want to stick on it too long, but it's fun. It's pro wrestling. Like, I don't know if it's real or is she really went into business for herself or her and Liv talked about this. I don't know, but I feel like involving Ruby, someone from another company, it can't be fake. Because why would you involve somebody, you promote somebody on a whole nother company, on the enemy company, and it just make no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. It was Shotzi and Knox was in a tag team, and Shotzi and Athena. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so, she was always being carried. That's basically what we're saying. She was always being carried by a much better wrestler. She had her little tank when she was with Tegan for a minute. And that was kind of her gimmick, and that's kind of how she got over with, and she was being carried as well. So it's just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why she would do this. Maybe Dave is right. Maybe she's overworking for WWE as well, and she wants to get the fuck up out of there, and she wants to go try her hand in AEW. I don't know what she thinks she gonna do over there. Tony Khan ain't even using the girls he got. So what the fuck she thinks she about to do over there? Go over there and make somebody else look bad in the ring? You know what I mean? Because she can't do a fucking arm drag. It's like, I can't. Like, what you want me to do? Like, I can't side with Shotzi in this, man. I can't, especially with Liv being so over and Liv like working her ass off to be one of the best in the ring, as good as she possibly can be. She can still get better, of course, but Liv has been doing amazing. That's why she's the fucking SmackDown Women's Champion. It's not by chance, or they didn't just hand it to her. She worked for that shit. And Shotzi needs to go put in the same fucking work if she wants the same respect and adoration. She can't be trying to, go into business for herself and to try to get over. Have a good fucking wrestling match. How about that? Don't botch every fucking match. And people, like, you'll get over. Like, she got a decent gimmick, you know what I mean? It's like, it's decent. It's nothing great. She coming out howling, but she got a look, you know what I mean? She definitely looked like the long hair Ruby Soho, you know what I mean? Bootleg version, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Yeah, Shotzi and not, yeah. Support Wild Nation, you already know, man. Put that on there. Support you too. What you doing? A charity, man? What the hell? Yeah. So what we gonna talk about next, man? Because there's a whole lot of pro wrestling news. Let me see. What am I gonna talk about next? I still want to hold off on the CM Punk stuff. We're gonna get into that in a minute, guys. I promise. Let's talk about the NXT situation. If you haven't heard, which I'm sure if you're watching this show, you probably heard by now because the news broke yesterday, NXT UK is no more. I kind of predicted this. I'm pretty sure on our last news broadcast when we talked about them canceling the shows or whatever, or postponing or they're canceled now. I kind of predicted this. I kind of saw this coming, but they've actually stop NXT UK. They're going to have a Worlds Collide coming up here in a few weeks. That's why they had the run-ins, and it makes sense where, they had the NXT UK guys come over. But that's going to be the last show for NXT UK as a brand, and it's now going to be rebranded as NXT Europe. I don't personally know what that means. I know that encompasses a lot larger area. Obviously, the Europe is bigger than just the UK, or I don't know how it works. I'm not from over there, but it seems like they're expanding the territory to open up opportunities for even more people across the pond. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? If they're going to keep it going, you know what I mean? Like I said, Triple H is a business tycoon. You know what I mean? And he's Vince McMahon without being a creep. Like or a savage. Like he's a good dude, but when it comes to business, like he'll put your ass out of business just like Vince McMahon would. Like Triple H was the one who started the beef with AEW. NXT. He the one that wanted to smoke. He didn't, you know what I mean? He kind of failed. I don't even want to call it a failure because the show was good. It wasn't like he was putting on bad shows with Black and Gold. It was just that AEW was the new hot toy and everybody wanted to, and Triple H thought that he could compete. But, AEW started getting all these people and they start putting on these great shows and whatever. So NXT wasn't able to keep up. Then Triple H got, moved from his position due to health reasons and whatever else. And Vince McMahon turned over, 2.0 happened, blah, blah, blah. The shit is trash. Most of it is trash at this point. But now they're, apparently they're going to get back to rebranding NXT as well. I'm not sure if it's going to go back to the black and gold logo, but they're definitely going to reimagine the current NXT because it's garbage. All the bright colors and is like nothing consistent. At least Raw, SmackDown, and the black and gold brand, they were consistent. The color themes, like NXT 2.0 just looks like puke. Like when I watch the show, it just looks like I don't know what it looks like. It's a pride parade. I don't fucking know. Not that anything's wrong with that, but I don't want to see all them fucking colors when I'm watching wrestling. That shit is crazy. So everything is being rebranded with NXT. There was also another change with the second man in charge of NXT, and that's Shawn Michaels. He was promoted. What job position did they put him on? Put him in? They I think they he's head of. I'm pretty sure he's head of creative for NXT or something like that. I have to look up the exact job position that they promoted him to. But obviously, with his best friend, you know what I mean, being his boss, basically, he's going to get promoted as high as he possibly can. And I think he deserves it. Shawn Michaels has worked his ass off in NXT to help all those younger superstars. And he's one of the top 5 wrestlers of all time. You know what I mean? So it makes VP of creative. That's what it is. So it's a good thing, man. I think if you got a legend like Shawn Michaels, in control of, these young superstars, teaching them how to do some of the stuff he was the best at, storytelling, selling, all these things that make a pro wrestling match a good pro wrestling match. I don't think there's anybody better to be in a position. You know what I mean? I just never want to see him wrestle again. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Never want to see him in the ring again, ever. I don't even remember his last match. It was Undertaker. That's all I remember. So he's also addressed plans going forward. I'm not going to read the quote. I don't even have it pulled up. But he said something about trying to find socially acceptable ways to present the product while still giving the product an edge. I'll read the quote. Why not? It says, he said, it's what NXT has always been, and that is to be a pipeline for WWE in support of Raw and SmackDown. That process is going to continue. We're going to use the UK talent that we can to go into Worlds Collide and keep that representation out there as long as we can. And as we move things over here in the process, we'll make all those decisions in 2023 about who's a part of NXT Europe and who continues to stay here in NXT in hopes of getting a main roster call-up. He also said, he said encounters, like these AWW and their goals to make NXT a bigger brand, bigger and better, and all that good stuff. And he just said we just want to go out and represent our brands across the world. I certainly have some favorite places I like to go. So, like I said, they're expanding it. That's his goal. Him and Triple H's goal is to expand the UK. I doubt they're going to go over and do Japan and all that because all the controversy that caused the first time they put that out there. But we'll see. But I think these two guys being in control, I think it's just going to make people want to work with NXT, work with WWE's main roster brands. I think it's nothing bad that can happen from this. I think everybody's ecstatic that the people who were in control aren't in control anymore. And you got some sensible, knowledgeable wrestling. Not that those guys weren't knowledgeable, but they were knowledgeable in a different era. This is a different era. Obviously, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are still going to have their issues trying to do things. Like he said, he's trying to find creative ways to push the envelope. But I think they'll figure it out. You can't do DX again, like I said in the last show. You can't have another DX. DX would not be appropriate in today's climate, even though I would chuckle and laugh at it. But some of that stuff you watch back and it's like, I don't want to see this. You know what I mean? I don't want to see dudes talking about their weenies and all. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it in 20. It was funny when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. Now I'm just like, grow up, guys. You know what I mean? I already got to listen to Miz's tiny ball jokes. I don't want to hear nothing else about no male genitalia on my wrestling programs. You know what I mean? So that's it. I hope that, I don't have to hope. I know that these guys are going to do right by NXT UK. Unfortunately, they did have to release a bunch of talent The biggest name being Trent Severin, I think, out of everybody that got released. Obviously, former NXT UK Tag Team Champion. Never imagined him actually being released, but his former tag team partner is now the NXT UK Champion, World Heavyweight Champion. So, obviously, Trent is out there on his own, so I guess they felt like they didn't really have anything for him, and they wanted to give these people opportunities to go other places. That's why you saw all these wrestlers that got released coming out and thanking WWE. It felt way different than a regular release, like these mass releases that have been happening over the last few years for WWE. This one felt way different. It felt like they understood what was going on. They understood Triple H's vision. He just didn't have anything for him to do. You're dissolving the brand of NXT UK. Obviously, everybody is going to be able to, it's just business. And I feel like people, I don't have to feel like, I saw people getting on Twitter and social media and thanking Triple H and thanking WWE for their time and talking about how much it helped them and helped, how much it meant to them to be a part of the brand. So that's a different vibe than what we've been getting after firings, where people were basically shitting all over the company. And I'm talking about major stars, Daniel Bryan and all these different people, Moxley and all, just shitting all over the company because they felt like they were being mistreated. And they were being mistreated. A lot of people were being mistreated. You know what I mean? So we know what it is, man. But, we'll move on to our next story. Let's talk about something a little lighter before we get into another heavy story. Apparently, Miro is going to be playing in some celebrity basketball, man. He's going to be making it. He's going to be in a Big Three celebrity game. I don't know if you guys know what the Big Three is. It's all the OGs from the NBA. It's a league started by Ice Cube. He's out there doing big things with the Big Three, and they're having a celebrity game. And Miro's going to be a part of that celebrity game. So I'm interested to see Miro play some hoops. I think somebody else is in the shit. I'm not 100% sure if there's anybody else that's in the tournament. What the chat talking about? Coming soon. NXT Asia coming soon? Maybe. Possibly. I mean, they've been doing big things over there for a long time, man. So I wouldn't be surprised. We need NXT Mexico. Do we? Or should we just bring them over here? Because I feel like WWE could probably use the best talent over here. And the more NXTs you have, especially abroad, I feel like they aren't calling those people up to the main roster of Raw and SmackDown. That's why Sean kind of said that, who's going to be over here in NXT and possibly get called up to the main roster, and who's going to be doing NXT Europe, which is going to be something completely separate. People in NXT Europe, just like NXT UK, NXT UK people had to come to NXT first before they went to main roster, i.e. Gunther. So it's I think the same thing is going to be the case. It's completely separate. He doing his thing over there, and so I don't think I don't think they should just be popping up with NXTs everywhere, because then you limit who could be doing a thing. Even though there's enough American wrestlers, North American wrestlers, to obviously fill the rosters, but I think you want to leave things a little bit more open than that. They trust Triple H, and that's why I think it's easier for some of the talent to accept. Dave said, yep, exactly. That's facts. Gruss said, is CM Punk a toxic person? Extremely. We're going to get into that next. NXT Jax would be fired. KGM just really want his own brand. He just really want Jacksonville to Yo, what would Tony Khan do if that actually happened? He would lose his fucking mind. Tony Khan would lose his mind. It was NXT Jacksonville. Yeah, right. Tony Khan would sell the Jacksonville Jaguars. He would call his daddy, say, "Daddy, we leaving." Sell the team. We don't want to be associated with Jacksonville anymore. That shit would be hilarious, man. I would actually like to see that more than anything. And speaking of head-to-head, the Worlds Collide shit, I think, is going head-to-head. Well, not technically head-to-head, with an episode of Dynamite. I'm pretty sure it's on a Wednesday. Yeah, it's on a Wednesday, but it's going to go on right before and then right after, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I know they're on the same day. Triple H is already wanting to smoke again. He's like, oh, yeah, I thought I was done, bitch. I'm back. He's like, I'm back and I got the power. I have the power on his He-Man shit. So he, Triple H won round 2. You know what I mean? He want the smoke. He want the smoke. So we go see if Triple H is able to poach some viewers or some fans from AEW with the Great Worlds Collide. And I think if it's anything like the old NXT brand pay-per-views, then I think he has a shot. But obviously he didn't fare too well the first time, so we'll see. Yeah, same day as All Out. Yeah, so that's good. That's pretty spicy. You know what I mean? That's pretty fucking spicy. So, I don't know, especially with All Out being in the situation that it's in right now, because let's get into our main story of the day. This shit is a total fucking mess, okay? First and foremost, I just want to say that this is a total fucking mess. CM Punk has just went full CM Punk. I can't even compare him to nobody else because there's nobody like this dude. He's fucking crazy. He's I don't even know how to describe this man. Emotional? Like, he's definitely toxic. He's 100% toxic. But what is and I'm a CM Punk stan, bro. I fuck with Punk, man. Phil is one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time. Summer of Punk legendary. I was rocking with him in ROH. I can't get with some of the things that he does. How he did Colt Cabana was not okay. Let's just put that out there. It just wasn't, man. You know what I mean? You're a multi-millionaire and you're trying to rake this dude through the coals knowing that you're dead ass wrong in the situation or just being petty at the very least. It was just not a good look. And this shit here is getting way out of hand, fam, because if you watch Dynamite, now when I watched Dynamite, I kind of tuned in a couple minutes late, so I think that I missed this part. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe he didn't say anything. But I heard him call out Hangman Page. I don't know if he said anything before that. But I heard him call out Hangman Page, and Hangman didn't come out. And everybody, I assumed that it was part of the show. Honestly, I didn't really think none of it, although it felt kind of awkward. But I just wouldn't imagine in a million years that already, after less than a year, it's been less than a year, right, since his debut, it would already be like real beef and he would already be like basically trying to take over the company and the show and going into business for himself as he accused somebody else of. But he basically went out there and, did his whole cross-leg thing and sat down, pipe bomb time, you know what I mean, laid the belt in front of him and said, Hangman Page, you want your rematch? Come out and get in it right now. We could do it right now. And Hangman didn't come out, which was weird. And then Mox came out and CM Punk started doing Snow Angels. It was all very fucking weird. I ain't gonna lie, but I didn't think anything of it because AEW's a crazy show. Shit be happening. So I didn't think nothing of it, although it was very awkward. And now the truth has come out. And this story is a fucking mess. Fightful and all these guys have been reporting that, I think Fightful broke it first, I'm pretty sure, and then Meltzer, guys over PW Insider, harped in or chimed in with what they know. But apparently there was a promo cut during the Hangman Page and CM Punk beef that CM Punk wasn't a fan of. By Hangman Page. It might have been a couple promos from what they said. One was in reference to the aforementioned Colt Cabana situation. Apparently, and it was like a fire shot. It was like, ooh, that's a little personal. When he said it, it was like, damn, that's that's breaking kayfabe right there. We don't need to be talking about that on TV. You know what I mean? Making him look like a real asshole now. Because I'm pretty sure there's people backstage who are sensitive to that because Colt Cabana was working there. I don't even know if he still is. If he is, he ain't around probably because of Phil, which is fucked up because Colt Cabana was there since the beginning. He's AEW OG, so it doesn't seem fair. But CM Punk, obviously wasn't feeling Hangman Page bringing that up. There was another promo that Hangman cut where CM Punk wasn't there and he was taking shots, and CM Punk obviously held a lot of animosity and a massive grudge against Hangman for that. He's apparently went to backstage officials and complained to the point that people backstage thought that he might be leaving the company if the shit didn't get worked out. But he comes to the ring and he calls out Hangman Page, basically paying him back a receipt, according to sources, basically making him look like a chump. He was like, yo, that's not, you're a coward. That's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. I was like, what the fuck did Hangman do to him? Isn't their feud over? Like, that was okay. All right. And, you know, Mox came out and Mox was taking all the shots. Mox didn't give a fuck. Mox looked like he really wanted. Like, now, just thinking back about all of it, just didn't, all of it feels like some shit went off the rails. I know Mox, that's just Mox's character. Mox is on fire right now. Mox is probably the best wrestler on the planet right now. I can't even front. Like, I feel like I got to put him up there because nobody makes the shit feel as authentic and genuine and real as Mox, man. This dude, he's amazing at his job. And, you know, he even took a shot at CM Punk like, we everybody knows you're only here because you ran out of money. So, which I'm not sure is true because he got paid a lot for those UFC fights. They weren't that long ago. He might have got his ass beat twice, but he got paid a pretty chunk of money, you know what I mean, just based off his name value, if I'm not mistaken. I ain't in his pockets, but I'm pretty sure he got paid some big dollars to even come do it. But I don't know that for sure. But Mox was taking his shots, man. But yeah, this whole CM Punk and Hangman Page thing, this can't be a work, okay? Because they changed the match from All Out to next week on Dynamite. Now, I need you guys to help me. Maybe I'm missing something. Is he really going to be gone from AEW after Wednesday? Because reports are saying as well is that that's why they changed the match, because Tony Khan didn't want another MJF situation where he's got a pay-per-view and he doesn't know if the dude is going to show up. Obviously, MJF showed up and took his L to Wardlow, whatever, but he doesn't. CM Punk's a different breed, bro. He will not show up. If he don't want to be, he will just not show up. You know what I mean? So Tony Khan could very well have been like, yo, I'm not doing this, bro. Like, people pay for these pay-per-views. I can't advertise you for the pay-per-view if you're not going to show up or if you're threatening to not show up. So is that why they moved the match to TV? And they're just going to take the belt off Punk? Like, we were speculating that, maybe it's his foot. Maybe he's still injured. Even Mox alluded to it. You're writing checks that your body can't cash and shaking his foot. Like, bro, you still got a broken ankle. We were speculating that it could be that. That's why they're writing him out of the story. Now it's looking like that's not the case at all. Now it's looking like CM Punk is upset about some things and he's being a big fucking baby. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand why you can't just go up to that man backstage and be like, yo, bruh, I didn't appreciate that. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would you do that? Even if it's hostile backstage. Like, remember Booker T and Batista? They had some words backstage. They went in the room, closed the door, and Booker T walked out. Booker T whooped Batista's ass. So I only talk so much shit about Booker T. I ain't trying to get my ass whooped. But yeah, why couldn't they just do that? You got a problem with somebody, Phil? You a UFC fighter. Just be like, yo, man, I got a problem with you, bro. I want smoke. You know what I mean? Fuck all that going out and going into business for yourself. This shit wasn't... What is Hangman Page supposed to do in that situation, bro? He don't even know you about to do that. And you call him out to... He's like top baby face in the company. One of the top 3-4 baby faces in the company. And you made him look like a fucking clown by calling him out and him not responding. What baby face does that? You know what I mean? It's like they coming out. Like, if it's Drew McIntyre, nigga, it could have been 7 of y'all. He coming out to fight. And they made Hangman Page look like a clown. Well, CM Punk made Hangman Page look like a clown doing that, and apparently that was his receipt. But I don't think CM Punk realizes that he just made himself look like a dick. Like, he complains about all these things and what's wrong with wrestling, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like he just doesn't see that he's being part of the problem. Like, what if young wrestlers are watching this? And then they're like, oh, that's how I behave? If someone says something I don't like, I threaten to put the whole company in fucking jeopardy? It's ridiculous. It's some bitch ass nigga shit. I can't even front. I love CM Punk, but it's some bitch shit for him to threaten the company because a dude said something he don't like. Do you know he wished that someone died on live TV? How's he mad about anything that anyone says? Your company will be taken over by your doofus son-in-law and your, you know what I mean, whatever daughter. Like, bro, you've been so disrespectful to so many people. So many people said some horrid things. And everybody cheered you. Yeah, CM Punk, he's a rebel, blah, blah, blah. And then Hangman used some shit that's real, and he throws it in there. It's like, motherfucker, if you ain't want nobody talk about the shit, you shouldn't have been an asshole to Colt Cabana. You the one had that man up in court blowing all his money trying to defend himself over some bullshit. You know what I mean? So people have a right to not like you over that shit if they don't want to fucking like you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just what it is. And we've talked about this before. When Punk came in, I'm sure with the Colt Cabana shit that happened and the way he left WWE the first, I'm sure there was people who respected him for it, like FTR and these people, and there's people who didn't respect him for it, who didn't fuck with him. You know what I mean? So it's just like, he has to accept that. Bro, he's not a very likable person on some real shit. He's just a very surly individual. There's not like very much likable shit about him. Even when he's virtue signaling online, like trying to act like he's better than people, preaching to the fucking masses and shit about how people should behave and shit. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? No one cares that you don't drink or smoke. No one gives a fuck. It's wrestling on weed over here. This ain't a straight edge channel. You know what I mean? So nobody gives a shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, go do that shit over there. And, you know what I mean? It's like Daniel Bryan trying to make everybody vegan. He wasn't trying to they was trying, I'm vegan, so you have to be vegan. And if you're not vegan, you ain't shit. He did that. His character did that. But obviously, Daniel Bryan never actually brought his character into real life. Those two separate things. He's actually an awesome individual. CM Punk, on the other hand, just seems like a dickhead. And I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole, but I'm not a dick. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll be thinking I'm funny. I'll crack jokes, all these things. But if you know that you're being mean, like, pull back. You know what I mean? And CM Punk isn't that type of dude to pull back if he's saying something that might be crossing the line. So I don't understand why he's all upset and putting an entire company's, one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year, in jeopardy over some comments in a promo. It just doesn't make any sense, and I don't fucking like it. You know what I mean? And I don't, Hangman Page hasn't responded yet, as far as I know. Maybe since we've been on the show, he said something. But yeah, I don't know, man. It feels like Tony Khan has lost control of the company. That's what it feels like at this point. It feels like he's put CM Punk in a position to have all this power. He paid this man all this money. He came out in media scrums and said, "You guys heard him. The last pay-per-view, or no, when he signed to the company, it was the last pay-per-view. He's like, this guy is the reason my company's so successful." Sitting next to him like he was his fucking girlfriend and shit. Like, bro, why are you like, damn? Like, fuck everybody else. Fuck the fact that Mox signed with you off the rip. You know what I mean? Fuck the fact that, you got Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks who started the company. Fuck everything that Cody Rhodes did, even coming up with the fucking idea. Like, he's CM Punk, who's wrestled like 6-7 matches, is the reason your company is so successful. Like, you basically just played yourself at that point. Because if you tell a bad person that, like, if you tell just a regular, normal thinking human being, they're just gonna be like, "Oh, that's nice. It's not really true, but he's trying to put me over. I appreciate that love." Yeah, I mean, but there was people here before me. Clearly, I'm not the only reason this company's successful. CM Punk, on the other hand, he's like, you know what? He's right. He's right. It is me. I am the reason this company is so successful. I'm the dollars and the cents. That's a quote. So he's a different type of dude, man. He's just a different type of dude. Tony Khan played himself. And in playing himself, he disrespected the entire fucking roster. And I don't think he's even, like, he's such a fan and a mark. I don't think he fucking realizes what he did by doing that. You know what I mean? And, you know, you had Dax Harwood coming out on Twitter. He's funny because he said somebody posted a picture of FTR and Punk together. And he was like, yeah, CM Punk bullied me into taking this picture. He's like the cameraman went into, or the artist went into business for himself, coming up with some great artwork. So clearly FTR is still siding with Punk in a joking way. They're trying to, you know, make clear that they're not hating on Punk. They fuck with Punk. But not everybody's fucking with this dude, man. Like, I feel like, you know, Dax kind of be doing the same thing. Like I said that on the last, on the Dynamite Blood ratings. He's like, I'm the best wrestler in the world, literally standing next to the TNT champ, the second champion in line in the company. Nigga, y'all can't even get a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships. Shut the fuck up and stop burying everybody that you're standing next to. I don't understand some of these promos or some of these shenanigans that AEW be doing. The booking is a fucking mess at this point. Let's just call it what it is. I know we want to be AEW marks and, oh, we love this new company, but man, listen, it's not working. It's working on some levels. You giving us some fire matches. The 303 this past weekend for the trio, 5 blunts, easy. Daniel Bryanson, Daniel Garcia, fucking fire. Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia, fire. 5 blunts, easy. But the rest of the show was what the fuck. You know what I mean? It was basically what the fuck. Tony Khan is basically me and trying to run a wrestling promotion. I don't know shit about running a fucking wrestling promotion, and neither did he when he started this shit 3-4 years ago. He just had a bunch of fucking money, and Cody went to him like, hey, you like wrestling? Want to give us some money to start this company? He's like, hey, bet. And then he's in charge of everything. And everybody's like, is this going to work? And it was working. It was working for a little bit because they were just starting. So everybody was giving them time to develop things. They never fucking developed things. And then they tried to expand out to the world and bring in New Japan and ROH and all these different companies and blah, blah, blah. Nigga, you ain't even... Where's your women's division? Where is it? What happened to the tag division while you introducing trios championships? I don't even care about the tag match. And 2 of my favorite teams are in it. 4 of my favorite wrestlers are in it. And they ain't done nothing. They got a 1-week build to a tag team championship match, my nigga. And it wasn't even a good, these niggas didn't even interact in any fisticuffs. They just talked some shit for 2 seconds. Like, what the fuck is going on in this company now? Tony Khan has completely lost control of this shit, man. The MJF shit was kind of like the first peak. Like, you doing that man wrong. You doing that man dirty. I don't care, man. Fair is fair. And I understand how contracts work. But if you want to keep people happy, your best people happy, then just treat them fair. Because the man MJF wasn't coming like, yo, I need the same check Mox got or Brian got or CM Punk. I need the exact same bag. He's like, bro, just give me a fucking raise. I'm making pennies compared to what these dudes doing, and people watching the show to see what I'm gonna say. So what the fuck? You just gonna keep bringing in more people and throwing out bags of money, and I'm just sitting over here bringing ratings, and you just not gonna do shit? Like, that shit was fucking whack. It's whack, man. I don't like how they did MJF. MJF has every right to be mad. He came in, he did his job like a fucking professional, and he bounced. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Like, I wish, well, Sasha and Naomi didn't really have no match. They, and they were dealing with creepoids. So this is like a different level. But, I appreciate the fact that MJF came in and kept his shit professional. It's like, I'm going to do the match. It's going to be a decent match. I'm going to take my power bombs and, call me when you got some money. You know what I mean? When you want to do right by me. And he's still under contract till 2024. It is what it is. So maybe we won't see him till then. There's been reports. We can talk about that in a minute, but that he might be coming back sooner than later, which I think if Tony Khan is smart, if he has half a fucking brain, he'll bring MJF back as soon as fucking possible. You know what I mean? It's like, he has to get some goodwill. He has to grow some goodwill because he's losing it day after day. There's wrestlers who aren't happy. We can talk about the Varsity Blondes. There's no need to talk about them for more than 15 seconds because they weren't on TV for more than 15 seconds this past Wednesday. They came out and got the fuck squashed by the Ass Boys. The Ass Boys beat, you know what I mean, Pillman and Garrison in literally 4 or 5 seconds. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? And they tweeting out, you know, fans are upset, you know, tweeting like they deserve better, and they agree, retweeting and shit, and tweeting out how they frustrated with the booking, and they should be. They've been there forever. Like, why? There's no other enhancement talent that you can bring in and let them get squashed. What is your tag team division? You ain't even gave them dudes a chance, bro. This shit is fucking whack. Like, Tony Khan need to fix this shit immediately, and I'm rooting for him to fix it. I don't want AEW to fail by any stretch of the imagination. Some of the greatest moments in the last 3-4 years in wrestling history have happened because that company was created. You know what I mean? These matches that we getting with, you know, Bryan Danielson and Moxley. Moxley is a whole different animal now. We wouldn't have got this in WWE. So I am grateful that this company exists. But if they keep doing the stupid shit that they doing, they going to burn out just like WCW did. He's literally doing the exact same dumb shit that Eric Bischoff did. And he, like, beefing with Eric Bischoff because Eric Bischoff tried to give him some advice. Like, bro, I made some of these mistakes. You might want to think about some of this. I don't know if y'all remember that, but they beat, like, Eric Bischoff. Like, they don't fuck with each other no more. He said Tony Khan don't like him because he gave his opinions on what he was doing and it's like, Eric Bischoff had the highest rated wrestling show on TV at one point. It didn't last long, but it was there. I mean, it was a couple years where he dominated the pro wrestling world. I won't say dominated. Both shows were killing it. But there's 5 million people watching the show. You know what I mean? So you don't think you could take some advice from somebody like that? Vince McMahon even brought the man back and let him have a piece. You know what I mean? Have a say at some point. Like, it's like, who the fuck is Tony Khan, man? You know what I mean? He feels like a child. Even the way he responds to YouTubers and different platforms like that who criticize him and him wanting to, you know, block them or keep them from, you know, speaking about negatively about he just seems like a weird fucking dude, man. You know what I mean? A real weird fucking dude. I don't really know what the future is for this company, but I feel like they need to get some more executives in there. Like, Vince McMahon had his henchmen, you know what I mean? Like, who've been around pro wrestling, like, whatever we want to say about John Laurinaitis. He's a pro wrestler in, like, the 70s. Like, the dude's been around pro wrestling for his fucking whole life, basically. So he needs to get some people around him who know the business. He needs to get some Triple H's and Shawn Michaels, and he don't need to get, like, Laurinaitis, but you know what I mean. He needs to get other executives who know the business to come in there and be next to him, because Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks ain't it. Those can't be your EVPs and blah, blah. The titles are cute. Let them fucking wrestle. Let them do the being an elite skits, and let them be pro wrestlers. The motherfuckers, I mean, they are executives by title, but clearly, what the fuck are they about to go tell CM Punk? Please tell me. What are the elites about to go tell CM Punk? Oh, we're going to reprimand. He going to be like, bitch, what? Who are you? Who are you again? Oh, okay. I haven't seen any. I was busy making millions of dollars. Like, what the fuck? They can't say nothing to him. You know what I mean? The only one who could say something to him, if he was still there, would probably be Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes obviously has tenure on the big company, and Tony Khan. Cody Rhodes ain't there no more. He left because he ain't want to deal with Tony Khan bitch ass no more. He bounced. And Tony Khan done already kissed his ass so much, it's like when you fucking do too much for a woman and she stops appreciating you and you put her on a pedestal, and then she acts like you ain't shit. Like, that's pretty much what happens. And I can relate to that. You know what I mean? Put a bitch on a pedestal. Like, oh man, it's so great. This is nice. You know what I mean? I love this person. You know what I mean? And that person's like, yes, I got him. You know what I mean? Now I can turn into a piece of shit. But Tony Khan got a contract. You know what I mean? I ain't had no contract. So CM Punk got to get paid. He's gonna get paid regardless, unless he voids his contract and just walks out the fucking company or some shit. But yeah, you got to pay that man. You know what I mean? So he gonna have the contract you gave him. I'm sure he's making $1 million or $2 million. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is supposed to work. I don't know how this company is supposed to move forward. Is CM Punk gonna become CEO Punk? That's what it sounds like. Sounds like he's running the show. And everybody's getting pissed off backstage because Mox really seemed pissed off. I saw somebody in the chat say Eddie Kingston was right about CM Punk. It's starting to look like it. And again, massive CM Punk fan. Massive CM Punk fan. You know what I mean? We share the Space Boy tattoo. That's how much of a CM Punk fan I am because I related to his mentality and his come up. Like, you know, it's like I just could relate to it and his attitude and, you know, but I didn't know he was this much of a dick. I didn't know he would be bullying people like Colt Cabana. I just didn't know that any of this shit would happen, man. So you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But CM Punk need to get his shit together. But more importantly, Tony Khan need to get control of his fucking company. Because between MJF and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes leaving, you know what I mean? Got to throw that in there. It's starting to look like he's losing control. And, you know, it's going to get worse. The way people are being booked, it's going to get worse. You think Miro and all these people who've been retweeting and you think these people are going to be happy when their contracts come up? You think they're not going to be trying to get more money and more TV time negotiating into their contracts and all these different things? Like, people could be doing other stuff. And now that Triple H is in control of WWE, there's another place that they can get hired. Because I'm sure Triple H, he's already been trying to poach talent. You know what I mean? He's already been making them calls, touching bases. So then people could just, you know what I mean? And then your company could be thin as hell in 2 years because WWE could just be like, all right, yeah, everybody just come back. So Punk is staying here. Mox be like, all right, so I'm going to go back over here with Triple H. He's going to let me do what I want to do. So I'm going to go back over here. Like, what if that happens? What if Bryan Danielson is like, I want to be Daniel Bryan again. I'm out. I don't like this guy. Bruh, everybody loves Triple H. Everybody loves Triple H. You about to fuck up the money, Tony Khan. I'm sorry I'm harping on this too long. It's just really dumbfounding that this dude could let this shit get this out of hand so quickly. It's you invite one bad person, one toxic person into your life, and I can attest to this, and they will destroy everything. You could build it up. You invite this one person into your life, and they will completely destroy everything with their toxicity. So you can't let this dude have the control that you're letting him have. You can't let him come out and take your show hostage, which is basically what he did for a couple minutes. Went out there, disrespected John by doing snow angels, my nigga. That's John. He's the best. He's the hottest. I ain't gonna call him the best pro wrestler, but fuck it. He's the best pro wrestler in the world. John Moxley. He is right now today. You know what I mean? And there's other people who are right there, 1As and 1Bs, and I get it. But Moxley, there's nobody better than Moxley right now. So why let this motherfucker come in your company and disrespect this dude like that? You know what I mean? It's like none of this was planned. You gonna let him come in and disrespect Heyman, somebody who is universally loved by everybody, the fans, everybody just loves Hangman because he just seems like a genuine dude. Just seems like a cool motherfucker. He don't hear him bitching and complaining. He didn't complain about how his title run wasn't the greatest, even though he had phenomenal matches during his run. You don't hear people talking bad about him. You've heard people shitting on CM Punk his entire career, talking about what an asshole he was. His entire career. Clearly, the man hasn't changed. I feel like it's part of the reason AJ Lee don't be like around because I don't even know if she want to be associated with this motherfucker publicly. Because people gotta look at some of the shit he does and just be like, you're just not a good person. This is not okay. Why would you do that? It's just unnecessarily mean. And That's CM Punk. That's what we're getting from CM Punk right now. Jonathan Coachman made a funny joke. If you don't know who Jonathan Coachman is, you guys know who Coach is. Former WWE employee for mad years, couple stints. He made a funny comment. He was just like, wouldn't be the first time he walked out on a company. This dude is destroying his own reputation. And I don't know if he wants to continue making money, but at some point, the fans are just going to turn on him. Everybody's going to be like, no, you're actually an asshole. Even if he turns heel, as far as just people are going to be like, no, just it's going to turn into go away heat for CM Punk. I could see it now. I could literally visualize it. People are like, I don't like this dude actually. It's not like The Miz or anything where I don't like his character. He's annoying or he's just a good heel. No, I just don't like this person and I don't want to watch him on TV because he's not I know he's torturing people backstage and making an unpleasant work environment for fucking everybody. I don't know. Oh, wow. Is that right, Jay? Tony Schiavone said Punk is a great champ. Excalibur responded, at least Mox defended his title. Hey. Hey. And this is what's weird. Are these two going to cause rifts backstage between talent? Because they both have people on their side. Punk has people backstage who blame Hangman for starting the shit, Hangman shouldn't have said that. Again, just forgetting everything that CM Punk has said, unscripted, pipe bombs, all these kind of disrespectful, wishing people death, all these different things. Forgetting all that, Hangman shouldn't have said that one thing about Colt Cabana. So it's his fault. CM Punk had a right to go take the show hostage and call him out, even though he knew that man wasn't prepared for it and would not come out, and just to make him look like, come on, bro. Come on. Just wait till y'all have a rematch and cut some good promos on him. What are you doing? What are we doing here? Like, it just made no sense to me, man. It was stupid. It was unnecessary. I want to see CM Punk wrestle, man. He's been having fire matches since he's been back. I don't want him to go away. I just want him to be a better person. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like the fake good person who comes out and tells everybody how great they are and try to I'm straight edge and I'm such a good, these people in politics are bad and these people who talk like this are bad. And if you don't like these people having rights, you're bad. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, on God, shut up. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to even hear from this dude no more until he's like coming out and being semi-apologetic at least about, you know what I mean? Basically trying to threaten the whole fucking company. You're one dude. Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? It's like, there's people who are better than you. You're not the best in the world right now. And hurts me to say as a fan of Phil. Phil Brooks is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So this pains me to have to say, but I'm always going to be honest. You already know what it is over here. Wow, I don't give a fuck what nobody think. I'm always going to be honest. And this is some bitch-ass nigga shit. There's nothing else I could say about it. You know what I mean? So X-Pac heat turns into CM Punk heat. That's very possible. That is very, very possible the way things looking. CM Punk misses that WWE toxic backstage life. This shit too sweet. I mean, shit ain't that sweet in AEW, man, with the whole MJF thing. And there's a lot. I mean, Cody already bounced, so it hasn't been sweet for a long time. The camaraderie backstage is probably better. You know what I mean? I don't think the camaraderie backstage in WWE has been bad. I think it's just the people who were at the top were bad. I think CM Punk is just toxic himself, and wherever he goes is going to be toxic situations. That's how it is. The toxicity follows the toxic people. You know what I mean? It's like you always going to be in some toxic shit if you're a toxic person. That's just how that works. It wasn't necessary for him to go out there and do that. None of this had to actually be toxic. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to know about any of this. This could have been handled between two men backstage. They could have had fisticuffs. Somebody might have came out with a black eye like Batista on the next show. I keep burying DC's own, man. Let me stop. I love Batista. That story is hilarious, though. But, yeah, it's just like, they didn't need to do this. He didn't need to do this. He's the toxic person. So wherever he goes is where the toxic shit is going to be, bro. That's what that is. Mox earned that spot. CM Punk lost 2 out of 3 matches against MJF and then demanded he gets a title shot and fucked his leg up trying to do a buckshot Larry. Hey, I can't. That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate, man. What else we got to talk about today? There's been a couple more stories. I want to talk about something lighter. I don't even know if there's been any light news. Bobby Fish said he would go to war for Shawn Michaels. That's obvious, I think. We all know that. Oh, man, Two-Face was right, wasn't he? Damn it. Why'd you just have to bring that up, KGM? Why'd you? Damn it. He's probably going to rub it in our faces in chat later. Oh, man. Now I got to hear. I told y'all CM Punk wasn't shit. I told y'all I ain't like him. Oh, man. So did y'all hear that? Hold up. I got to get it out. Tony Khan compared himself to Paul Heyman. I can't. I know. It sounds crazy. I don't even know how this happened or how this came about. But it's ridiculous. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard, especially under the current circumstances. Even though Paul Heyman, obviously, a little messy himself back in the day, just a completely different monster when it comes to, yeah, anyways. Taz had something to say about these things. He said he's worked with both guys. He said, I worked with both very closely. He said, I work very closely with both of these men. He said this on Twitter. He said, talking about Tony Khan and Paul Heyman, from a passion perspective, creative work ethic, and connecting directly with their audiences, including same type of midnight oil hours they burn, they're very similar, I promise. The person I have people come up to me and say, as far as being a fan who was around pro wrestling and wrestlers for a long time and then jumped into the business, the person I think I get compared to the most often, you remind me of this person. I think we're really different people, and I haven't talked to him or gotten to see him in a really long time, is Paul. That's what Khan said. That was Khan's statement, sorry. So that's, who are these people who are comparing him to Paul Heyman? Like Eric Bischoff, okay. It's closer comparison. Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman had to scrape up money to try to pay. I think he still owes people money. I'm pretty sure. Paul Heyman still owes people money because he was basically band-aiding together ECW from the beginning, just trying to make it happen. Like, he was finessing people. He was doing everything he could to get people to come to those shows and wrestle for him at the time. We didn't know it was going to be what it was, but obviously ECW has left a mark on the pro wrestling world forever. You know what I mean? And Paul Heyman, as much of a finesser as he was, he always had the best interests of the sport in mind. And he was a pro wrestling genius. Oh, I'm sorry. Is a pro wrestling genius. I would never in a billion light years label Tony Khan any type of wrestling genius. Business genius, I'm not even sure. Pretty sure that's his dad. I'm not sure what Tony Khan is actually good at because I never heard of the guy before wrestling. So I don't really know, man. But comparing these two it's an asinine assertion. That was just a lot of big words for no reason. I just had to get my point across. That it's fucking ridiculous to think that Tony Khan is anything like Paul Heyman. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Paul Heyman, he never had $1 billion, and if he did, every pro wrestler in the world probably would have worked for him. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest. The only reason people ever hated anything about working for Paul Heyman is because them checks didn't clear. You know what I mean? That was it. You know what I mean? It wasn't Paul Heyman's a bad guy or no, it was I love Paul Heyman, but where's my fucking money, bro? That was it. I just want to get paid. I love the guy. I know he means well, but he ain't got no fucking money and he tried to do wrestling shows. So that's all it was, man. But you cannot compare the marks that they've left on. It's like, no, Tony ain't left that mark himself. Like, It's Cody's company. At the end of the day, Khan was the nigga with the bag. Cody was the man with the idea. And Meltzer. Got to give Meltzer his props, his little 5% props, because Cody might not even had the thought to even do it. You know what I mean? It's like, might have been just, went to ROH or New Japan or somewhere and started doing movies or whatever. You never know. But, obviously Meltzer putting the challenge out there and Cody taking it was how this whole thing started. This is Cody's company. He not even there no more. You know what I mean? So, man, it's this whole show has been centered around Tony Khan and his failures. I don't want to be too hard on the man. It's more so about CM Punk and his shenanigans and how much of an asshole he's been throughout his career, but even more so now. You know what I mean? It was just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I want to see how it's going to play out. Is he really going to drop the title? Is MJF going to come back? Is there going to be interference, shenanigans? Are they actually going to do the match, Mox and Punk at All Out, and they're just trying to get some ratings for Dynamite this week? But that doesn't seem like a good idea either. You're setting fans up for disappointment. I mean, if you give them the match a couple weeks later, I guess it's not that huge of a disappointment, but you can't be false advertising shit like that. You just can't. WWE's done that a couple times. It didn't work out well for them. WCW did it a few times back. Didn't work out well for them. It's just not a good idea to false advertise. You know what I mean? Give people what you tell them you're going to give them, or don't tell them what the fuck is coming. You have the option to do that. You know what I mean? But now that we know this match is happening next week, we got to see how it's going to play out. And we got to see what's going to happen with All Out. It's in Chicago. He's got to be on the show, right? Like, I don't know. Is he going to get booed in Chicago? He's never going to get booed in Chicago. It's just what it is. But Mox ain't getting booed in Chicago. Would Mox get booed in Chicago? I don't know if Chicago boo anybody that goes up against CM Punk. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you go up against CM Punk, you getting booed in Chicago. I don't know. I'm sitting here trying. Is that the reason that this is happening? Because they don't want Mox to get booed in Chicago? Because he's like babyface, kinda? I don't even know if he's babyface. He's babyface. Everybody fucking loves Moxley. Is that why the match isn't? Maybe this all can't be for that reason. This cannot, because Mox won't give a fuck about being booed in Chicago. He won't care. Just like CM Punk didn't care about getting booed in Long Island. You're like, that can't be it. I'm just trying to rack my brain around this and figure out why it's happening, because it makes no sense. The only logical answer I can come up with is that Tony Khan has lost complete control of his company. And that's where we stand right now. I'm sure there'll be more news coming out about all of this, in the coming days. I want to hear if CM Punk actually comments on his shenanigans and why he did what he did. I want to see if Hangman Page has anything to say about it. And I want to hear Tony Khan come out and explain himself and why he let CM Punk walk past him in Gorilla and do that bullshit. But that's it for our news today, man. We're going to get up out of here. It was a great show. I appreciate you guys always up in here. KGM, Dave, Fat J in the chat. I see all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and tuning in as always. Everybody watching on YouTube, anybody watching on Twitch, man, at Wrestling on Weed on Twitch. You can find us over there as well. But shout out to the YouTube gang. I appreciate you guys as always. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got donation links in the chat if you want to help out the channel, help us keep making this content, man, because, it is a lot of work doing this every single day, especially when we got a baby who's waking up right now. So I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all as always, man. Wild Nation gang, gang. You know what it is, your boy, Mr. HD, man. I'm out of here. Deuces.
We want the smoke, huh? We want the smoke. Talk to 'em. We want the smoke. Uh-huh. We want the smoke. Come on, Charlie.